So what you got here, folks, is Vikings of Blues.
Yes. No, actually, I'm the audio engineer for the show. Peter the Healer, your celestial broadcaster.
Where is Peter the Healer?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I've been trying for the last 10 minutes trying to reach him, but he's not answering.
Have you tried tuning into 528 hertz, the love frequency?
No, that's a good idea. I'll give it a try. Let's see what happens. Hey, you know what? I think I'm getting some
Radio Noise.
Rádio Noise 593.
Anybody out there?
DJ e produtor brasileiro Rod Novaes.
Hello, everyone. Peter Kelly here. Nice to see you. I've just played starting a track with Jessy Howe and Javier Vargas, their group Vikings of Blues, and that's called Don't Let Fear. And I want to welcome our guest all the way from Triton, Switzerland, Jessy Howe, or Jessica Howe. Do you like to be called? I see Jessy Howe, but I see on the screen it says Jessica Howe. But welcome.
Hi, Peter. Nice to meet you. Would be more pleasant in person, but it is something.
Well, of course, you know, with the we've got this pandemic still with us. We're kind of forced to continue to do these kinds of conferences by the internet. So what we have here, if I can give it a little introduction, Jessy Howe. And she was born in Switzerland, grew up in the southwest of England. And this broadcast, actually, we're going direct to her town in Triton, Switzerland. But as a professional singer and songwriter, she performs, collaborates, and records in Switzerland, Germany, and in many European cities. Art on Ice, Popkommen, Berlin, Montreux Jazz Festival, We Classic The Rock 2. Swiss star rapper Blig has featured Jessy on his single I'd Kill For You and hired her as a guest singer to join him and his band on 2 of his tours, along with her band, the Raveners. I hope I'm saying that right.
That's correct.
The Raveners, because I think of Raven or the Raven, Raveners probably is the way it should be said. She released 2 albums and toured in Switzerland and Germany, 5 singles, including You Gotta Swing and Boy, You Wanna, are on radio airplay. Javier Vargas, who she joined up with, has it been 2 years now? 2 years you've been with him. Of course, he has done quite a bit in his homeland, Spain, 8 platinum records, 21 albums released since 1991, countless international tours, collaborations with legendary artists such as Carlos Santana, Prince, or Larry McRae. So we have this collaboration, Jessy Howe featuring Javier Vargas, formed in 2020. Their first single, Try for Loving, came out in April of last year. The second single, Bloody Rock and Roll, will be released. I guess it has been released. Has it been released? June 5th, according to what I'm reading here. Single Shake Your Money Maker will be available also. So this is from the past when you first joined together. But what we're going to feature today is a little bit of your background, Jessy, as well as 6 of your songs from your new album that's just been released, which is called Soul Food, I believe, Soul Food, Vikings of Blues. Right, so tell me, Jessy, you were born in Switzerland, you grew up in the southwestern England, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about what influences you've had in your lifetime that have formed your style of singing?
My grandmother, my father's mother, was a musical singer. She was Scottish, and she toured and actually earned her own money already before the Second World War. And my mother sings classical, but she is not a professionally trained singer, but she has an amazing voice. So there is my female vocal heritage, as you can say. Then I didn't know if I wanted to be a singer or if I wanted to do drama, you know, if I wanted to be an actress or maybe even a director. And then, yeah, I was always a very massive Queen fan, and I would say Freddie Mercury inspired me definitely as a stage persona. And then I would say I grew up with a lot of jazz, classical jazz from the films like Doris Day, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday. And then I came into the Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin, you know, you name it. From then on, that just took over in a way. Also Janice Joplin, and I grew up with a lot of guitar playing as well, because my father, he loved he loved Santana, he listened to Doors, he listened to Jimi Hendrix. So you got these two, you know, the kind of vibe, 70s vibe that was just impregnated inside my soul and in my singing, I suppose. So yeah, definitely I would say I'm a 70s child in a way, but I do have a kind of also a classical touch because I play piano. So for 8 years I played classical piano. So yeah, okay, jazz, soul, blues, rock, classic music, and I love also a lot of you know, I always say folk music or tribal music. These I find them very, also like mantras, I find they work very well. Singing is a healer. It's a healer for your soul. It's a healer for many. It's a vibration. It's energy inside of you. And I was very lucky to have that in my life by now. So
yeah, well, and so tell us a little bit about your early years. You were born in Switzerland, but then moved to the southwestern part of England. How did that come about?
Well, my parents, they met in Bournemouth. It's a classical thing. You go to these 60s dances where you had an amazing band performing live. And of course, my father, you know, he went up to ladies and asked them to dance. And there was a lot of Swedish au pairs, which were a bit, well, he went for the loudest laughing one, which was my mum from Switzerland. And she was an au pair in Bournemouth. And then they moved to Switzerland, married there, and then they went back to Birmingham to live with his sister. And then we went back to Switzerland because it didn't work out. We wanted to have, we went back to England to have a farm together with my grandparents because my father's a farmer. And the family ties, it just didn't work out. So we had to move back to Switzerland because it was also a financial, you know, my parents, they wanted to give us, you know, they wanted to make sure that we had sufficient funds they had sufficient funds to look after us, sort of like, yeah. So,
Okay, so you're
I
back,
went back to Switzerland, yeah.
back to Triton, and Triton is just, what, 100 miles west of Zurich?
That's
approximately.
true. However, we actually lived close to Zurich. We've only moved to Triton now about maybe 10 years ago.
Okay.
Like, my sister runs an Airbnb here, and because of the whole situation, I mean, I've been working in Zurich as a professional singer with my party band, Jessy Howe and Co, and with my duos for private events. That's how I could keep, you know, being creative, working with the Raveners, and cross-financing the Raveners with the party gigs. So the same musicians will play at the party gigs or the private events. And this is how I could kind of survive in Zurich. But now, because of the whole situation, I had to move my ass because I couldn't afford to stay there anymore. But I am not, I'm not unhappy. I love the countryside, and I've been traveling so much now this last 1.5 years, 6 times to Ibiza to do the recording. So in a way, right now, it's kind of you know, calm down a little bit.
A welcome relief.
In a way, yeah, just to come back to nature.
And tell me about your creative process. How do you write music? I know you collaborate with a lot of artists, and you also write the songs and the lyrics. How do you get the creative juices flowing?
I see myself as, I feel I am a vessel. I'm a channel. I feel I chose this talent and it don't belong to me, it belonged to the world. So it's like, yeah, it's like, it's an honor to be able to have that kind of input from the universe, I would say. And sometimes they just give me a song and the lyrics just flow out and they give me an input. Or some topic or a feeling I have, and yeah, the creative process starts with me. Always has started with melodies, and then with the words coming along, and and then it's always nice to work with other people because it's a ping pong. But I also write music by myself on the piano, and it's also nice, but I do enjoy very much working with other people because it just makes the music more accessible for everybody's ear, and not just like, oh, I want to express myself, and you know, I hope I got that right now. But that's I usually get a melody, and then I get a certain feeling, and then I improvise on a track that's been given to me, or it comes to me like that, and yeah, it's a bit like cooking. You open the fridge and you say, what do I have in there? And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna make a pasta dish. Let's see how it, you know, and then you obviously, the thing is, Peter, when you write a song, it usually comes like that, and you're elated because it's working out fine and everything, and then comes the hard work. Then it's like, sitting down, making the arrangement, making it sound good. You know, where do you take some of the music out, where you put it back in again, and then you have to perform it like bang on. You know, before it was like fun, let's just play around, and it's very important to keep the fun factor. Anyways, a bit of the playfulness is always good.
Yeah, the hard work is in the editing. But yeah, it's good to have the fun. And of course, when you perform, that's fun too, I would assume, when you're performing in a live event. That's another feeling. What's that like for you?
Yeah, the performing is you know, you have a lot of how do you say, adrenaline going through your body when you have that. And I've learned over the years to channel that because it's, how do you say, to focus. But I'm always nervous. I'm always nervous. And that's why I don't like, I'm not a solo performer. I like performing with a band. So I have a bit of, you know, I have my castle. I got the protection there a bit. And also, but it's like jumping in cold water. You go on stage and then you just let that take over. And important thing is for me always to say, I'm giving you the energy and I know it will come back, and not to think like, I want to be good, I want to show up, you know, because that's not going to, in a long run, it will frustrate me as a singer too much. So always be aware of that, but it's not always so easy. Sometimes the ego takes over, I suppose, you know, but I just hope that I can always give it from my heart and my soul.
Well, that's great. So tell me then about, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of your songs. All the songs that I'm featuring on today's show are from your latest album, the collaboration with Javier Vargas, the Vikings of Blues, you call yourself. And so the song that I just played earlier, Don't Let Fear, I can guess where that's coming from, but perhaps you can elaborate a bit further before I play the whole song.
Where shall I start with this now? The song is an idea that Javier had. And if you listen to the album, it's really like we both had the same inputs and feelings about the songs and what we wanted to bring over to the listener or to the, you know, people who are enjoying the music. And right now in the world, the fear is the opposite of love. And not a lot of people are speaking about heart love at the moment. And it's very much in the head. And if you're in a fear, it makes you go in a shock adrenaline, and you can't create anymore when you're under shock. You can't, you know, it will be difficult for you to find your flow and make the magic miracles that happen in everyday life still go on, because they do and they can and they should, you know, that's the thing. So we just wanted to remind not just ourselves, well, also ourselves, that we don't, you know, don't let fear go put you down, because it's a fever in your chakra crown, you know, it will block you here, and it will. How can you create when you're blocked? How can you, because if you start imagining, then you can say, well, I'm going to imagine today is a good day. I'm going to imagine that, all right, where, you know, lots of people have money worries at the moment, or many people are afraid of, you know, going out and, you know, dying on the street. And there's no way to live. You have to live now. You know, you don't, when your time's up, your time's up. That's how we see this. And it's a message of hope. And because it's got that kind of, you know, nonchalant vibe and that rocky guitar riffs, yeah, I hope the energy goes over to the people, and it inspires to sing along and tell yourself, hey, you know, songs like Don't Worry, Be Happy or something like that, they work. And a song like Don't Let Fear Go, Put You Down, it will work, you know, it will help you, because how can you live under fear? You can't do anything anymore. You can't live in that state every day, you know, and the media, listening to the media all day long it's gonna, you know, it's like, it's gonna suck you up, and it makes you addictive because you keep on watching because it's out of control. But actually it's under control. You have the control inside of you to say, I want to feel this way, whatever happens outside. A bit of a recipe, this song. I don't know. How do you feel about
so
it?
it's pretty genuine though for you. I mean, you can tell just by listening to you how much this song means to you. I mean, it's really, as you say, coming from your heart. And I think the best thing to do now is to share it. I'm going to play it. Well, that's a great song. I love it. Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, and it's such so much power, and it's like reminiscent of the '70s. The guitar licks, your soulful voice, and it's really beautiful. Tell me something. The next song is quite something. Explode, the one that I wanted to play next. Tell me a little bit about that one.
That number is really the day Javier sent me a recording that he had, and I just knew we needed a good ballad. We needed a ballad-esque song, not just power songs. It's for the music, for somebody listening, it's just nice to have a soft song in between. And I said, well, hopefully something's going to come to me, because it was my turn to write the lyrics and figure out a melody. And that day I was rehearsing with the band to play in a different concert in a venue in Zurich, but I didn't know when we would be playing again. And I was very emotional, and we had a bit of an explosion in the rehearsal. I went home and I put these energies, and I was very tired. It was Sunday evening, and it just came out like that. And beforehand, Javier was very emotional about everything going on in the world at the moment for us musicians, So he told me, I feel like it's exploding something. So I took that input from him, transferred it into my worlds or happenings, and it came out like that. And the day we went in Mallorca to record the song, there was a lorry in front of us, and the tire burst on the lorry. So it was like a sign from, sing this evening. And we did it in 2 takes. We did that song in 2 takes. Yeah, I don't know how I did it.
I guess it was pretty synchronistic. Synchronistic that they were definitely telling you, hey, name it, explode. Pretty clear. Okay, well, let's hear this one.
How would it feel had I turned off the news, taken back black? Today's message gave me the blues. Everybody talking, I feel we become what you see. Too bad for the living. If we give us all away, we brought in many chains, and we wear them like slaves. Way down in Egypt, we gotta fight, we gotta fight, we gotta fight. 'Cause together we stand. Explode like a time bomb. Explode 'cause it feels so wrong. Explode like a time bomb. Explode. I wanna keep my cash. The card is all about control. Zombies in the streets. Face no match, you get a toll. Friends becoming enemies. Separation penalties. Shut up, all you screaming. Peace, freedom, no more peace. The world in better chains. And we wear them like slaves. Way down in Egypt. We gotta fight, we gotta fight, we gotta fight. 'Cause together we stand. gotta fight, we gotta fight. 'Cause together we stand. Explode like a time bomb. Explode, 'cause it feels so wrong. Explode like a time bomb.
Another great song. And right after this song, I've chosen Soul Food for obvious reasons. We need to have some kind of soul food after all the emotional, how should we call it? Everyone's being totally put upside down by this pandemic, and it seems to be going on forever, and nobody knows when it's over. When is it going to be over? So I think the very name says it all, soul food. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, how that came about and the inspiration?
It's about what you put in your body is energy. Now, if you breathe in air, make it clean. If you drink water, drink it clean. If you eat food, buy it locally, buy it organic, because it's energy that you put into your body. And it's something that I found out for myself, and that's how I wrote this song about my sister making organic soup, or Javier making an Indian curry himself. Also, what you can try is you can bless your water before you drink it. There is a Japanese scientist who figured this out, that if you put name tags like love or hate on the water, it actually changes the frequency and the energy of the water. The crystals become different. So as with hate, it becomes rather dark. You don't want to drink that. But with love, it kind of opens up like flowers, the crystals do. So imagine what this happens when you consciously eat food, or you share it with somebody, or you go and buy it with somebody who has been putting all that love in it. That's what you put inside yourself. It goes with everything. It can be music. It can be films you're watching. Take in the soul food, It don't pay out to buy it cheap, but that's up to everybody. It's just a homage to take care of. If you start eating good food, then your frequencies will feel better automatically. Voila.
Well, yeah, it's like, I wrote a comment under your YouTube. I put, I'm suddenly very hungry. Where can I find, or when can I get some of your soul food? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people can relate to this. It's like, people are tired, their energy is low, and they are searching for something that's going to give them a boost. So
Thank you so much for that inspiration, Peter. You just gave me a very good tip.
Oh,
I can use that very much now, because
my pleasure. My pleasure.
Next,
Maybe you
I kind of have a plan now. Now I have a plan. I wasn't sure what to do next, but now I have a plan.
I'm happy to be of assistance. Great. So let us now put that up. We're going to hear it, and we're going to play it as soon as I can get this guy cooperating. Where did it go? Suddenly, oh, here it is. Okay, we got it. No prob. And away we go. Let's get rid of this.
She got a garden with a lot of fruit. puts me in a real funky good mood. I am in India when he cooks the curry. It's spicy hot, can kill any germ bacteria, don't you worry. And it tastes to me like something new. It makes me feel so good. His homemade food takes away all my bluesy mood. Woo! I got a form to make my own lasagna. A lot of magic when I put a piece on your plate. You feel the fun, yeah. Everybody get praise to it. I make them feel good. It's homemade food. Yeah, bringing back to you the happy soul food. When people think before they eat, remember this, you take in the energy. It don't pay out to buy it cheap. Make it last, don't you know what you sow you reap? So bless your food, make it taste good. It's all about keeping up a happy mood with soul food. 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 When people think before they eat, remember this, you take in the energy. It don't pay out to buy it cheap. Make it last, don't you know what you sow you reap? So bless your food, make it taste good. It's all about keeping up the happy mood with soul food. With soul food. Oh, soul food. Soul food. With soul food. Soul food. Soul food.
And like I say, I'm hungry. When I hear that, it's fantastic. And we're now going to go to the next song, Heart Go Blind. And actually, that was the first song that I heard of you. Stephen Foster sent me a clip from that song, and I heard it and I said, oh, here, that's something I haven't heard in a while. Soul and incredible guitar licks reminiscent of the 70s. And this is a song worth listening to. Tell me a little bit about that before I start it.
Yeah,
What was
Stephen
your
Foster,
inspiration?
Stephen's Indies picks. Yeah, he's a blessing for us. He is helping us so much. He also has his an album out now, so that's very funny that he's promoting and doing that on the side. But good luck to him with that. Like his stuff. And yeah, Heart Go Blind was written at Esvedra. There is a big stone in Ibiza. That's why everybody in the 70s or the 60s, all these hippies, they went to Ibiza because there was this magic stone. They say there's a portal there even. And one evening, that was in November 2019, I took a little bit of a time out before I started working in the evening with Javier, and I went with the car to Esveda, and I did a little meditation there, and the sun was going down, like really this full blown sundown, really. And there came that melody to me, and Javier just helped me take that folkloric side of the melody that I had and put it into a more of a, you know, poppy rocky song. So that's how it came, and the whole lyrics came to me like that too. It's also about, because Explode is about standing, standing and, standing together and pulling things together, pulling things through together right now, especially. And this song, Soul Food, is about, be mindful of your energies that you're taking in, giving out. Yeah. And the song is a message from the heavens to say, like, oh, you got the angel on one side, you got the devil there, and the ego so behind. But catch that stone when it goes into your heart. Catch it before it's gonna. Because if you've got a stone in your heart's gonna die sooner or later, and that you die with it. Then I figure, because a stone heart, how can it beat? It's too heavy. No. I
gotcha. So let's hear this. Heart Go Blind. I love it. Starts off slow and it develops, and then eventually you go into the real rock. Incredible. So fantastic. And the whole thing, I mean, this is to me a classic hit that should be way up on the charts somewhere in the world. But of course, we have forces that in play that, of course, are manipulating what gets played on the airways and what does not. And I'm sure you've had to, at some point, come to deal with the forces that you have to. Well, how do you handle it? I mean, this is top notch, way out there music, and you don't get airplay, and certainly not in North America.
No, well, we have like, what we have is we work also with a girl from CJC Promotions in Scotland who's covering England. She's doing a fantastic job, and Stephen's Indies picks. Stephen Foster's doing a fantastic job. That got us going with web radio stations. And to be honest, Peter, for me, I'm only speaking on my behalf now, but I want this, you know, I know the songs are going out to the right audience. And I've had so many good experience now with web radios. That, you know, there is so much creative flow, so much kindness, happiness and joy in exchanging and communicating. And, you know, you can see that they get the names right. That's one thing. There's more of respect. And it don't matter how many people listen. It don't matter how many people are at a gig. It matters how you are as a circle. How can you give and take from one another? That's all that matters. Mm-hmm. In a way, it's protection as well. So, you know, it's protection. And I mean, I have had these songs. With Ravenous, I have a few songs that are on Swiss radio stations, but I don't, you know, if they're not in for it, why should I go and fight with them? You know, why should I get aggravated about it? I just follow the flow, and I know wherever it's taking us with the music. Of course, Javier is a kind of a star in his own as a guitar player with his Vargas Blues Band. But it is how it is, and it feel good. It feels good when I listen to you and see your happy face after a few of these songs, especially after this one. That kind of resonance is authentic and real, and it's not a commercial song. It's really something that is organic music. This album is organic music, baby. There's nothing, we have to write a hit and we have to, you know, of course we wanted to make it musically as much accessible for everybody, for small and large and grown-up people. But in the end, if we can touch a few hearts, for me, that's already like job's done. Well, you know, I've done a good calling. But I'm grateful that you say this, what you just said about, you know, recognition. But recognition, yeah, you know, then is it real in the end? It's much more real at the moment, I feel. You know, I feel like the music industry has been quite manipulated with a lot of heavy that hasn't been, you know, with a lot of dark energy, and which hasn't been really helpful for a lot of people. It has separated a lot of us, especially men and women, way. And I feel, you know, we're not the types to make modern music like what you listen mainstream music on the radio. My voice is not. It comes from a different era. So does Javier's guitar playing. It's organic music, and this is where we are, and it's a happy place to be. So thank you.
Well, I think that's the important thing, is that, as you said before, you are reaching the right people who resonate with your sound, and it's a niche, and the message gets out, and if it resonates, I'm happy if I can spread it to more people. I'm one of those people that likes to, play indie music because I find that there's a lot more diversity and quality and exceptional musicianship that is not being given attention to in the mainstream media. And if that's how it's meant to be, fine, but I'm going to do my part to get it out there. And let's move on now to the next song, Monkey Girl, also on your latest album with Javier Vargas. What's that about?
That's about, it's a song about mercy and taking pity in somebody else who is going through an emotional phase, even if you don't know them, if they're a stranger running along the street. Christ consciousness, can you go to them and give them your hand and a warm smile, or just tell them, are you okay? But we tend to like, oh, this feeling, I don't know the person, I'm afraid I'm going to shut down. And in a desolate moment like that, a woman running alone on the street crying can just knowing that somebody says, are you okay? Do you need help? Can, be helpful and merciful and empathic towards one another, because we can't solve everything on our own, and it don't matter if you're a stranger, we're all connected anyways with each other. But how would you feel in that moment? And that song's about that you should open up the feelings, and if you're feeling good and you're feeling desperate, then show it, because at least somebody else can maybe help you, and on the other hand, you give a chance also to yourself that you don't have to go through everything on your own. Just about showing somebody, helping somebody across the street.
Putting yourself in the other person's shoes and understanding, as you said, how would you feel in their situation? Yeah,
it's good to show feelings, and that's why we're humans. And it's a reminder to myself as well, this song, to what's going on and help somebody.
Right. Yeah. Well, I could sense that it touches you pretty deeply. So let's play that now, shall we?
Shark in the middle, shark.
another great sound, and of course, you've got so much that you're saying there in your message. It's, you know, it's a pleasure to listen to great music, great vocals, and words that mean something. Wonderful.
I hope I got it right in the vessel that I opened. I hope I got that all right somewhere, and hope it passes over to the other side.
Yeah,
So
well, it's wonderful. I mean, like I say, I mean, I don't want to be negative here. It's not my purpose, but obviously we have, as I said before, there's a machine, there's manipulation going on that controls what the masses hear. They have their purpose, okay? But when people open up the blinds and they actually listen to really genuine, organic music, then we start to kind of renew the purpose of why we're here on Earth. And that is to experience genuine feelings, not synthetic feelings, but really genuine feelings. And this is what your music does. It's fantastic. Love it.
Thank you very much. One has to be aware that music is hypnotic and it's a mantra. So when you keep on singing the lyrics, you know, at concerts and stuff, I have observed that with my own work as a singer for many years. You know, if you sing a song like, first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I can never live, and then you have another song which is going more like, you know, some kind of sad song where you're more in a victim role. What you're doing is actually you're programming your mind. So you can imagine what happens at big concerts all the time. It's very, these are mantras, these are frequencies, and they go in your subconscious mind and they program you. That's why I might not sing I'm on the highway to, I'd rather do heaven in that case, because I don't want to have a life like that, you know, especially if you do the I am. So maybe that's a bit far-fetched, but I've observed that with myself, you know, a lot of drama in my life. I'm sure it's because I've been singing all these songs all the time. And a lot of the fun experiences that I had is also because I've been singing a lot of disco music, I'm sure, you know. You know,
sure. Well, yeah, well, I mean, you know, there's, as you say, it is hypnotic. I mean, you repeat things over and over again. And sooner or later, it's going to go into the subconscious. And the subconscious, of course, is where the motivation factor plays a big role and affects your life dramatically. So let us go to the final song. I think the title says it all, Cybernetic Porcupine. Another great song, rock song. Chris, how would you describe yourself? I'm reading blues, pop, rock. Some has folk, country, blues affixed to it, but this is saying rock, pure rock.
It's true, yeah, that is very rocky number.
Great. I mean, this is what we love. We want to hear, you know, on this channel. Anyway, I'm trying to get back some gutsy music where there's some soul involved. It's not just, you know, the same old, you know what, played over and over again. This is the real gutsy stuff. Tell us a little bit, Jessy, about the inspiration behind the writing of this song.
I'd like to mention that all the covers, I'm very lucky to have my cousins doing all the covers if you're showing them on your program. And this one was, I asked my godson to do something because he is actually professional. He's an architect, but he's also quite good with graphic design, like all my other cousins. And and I just told him, can you make something like that? And it's just magic. He sent me this back. And you know, there's 13 needles. You got tattoo free will. Yeah, the porcupine is a stingy animal, and it eats its own meat. I think it's reflectory of the situation in the world now. You have your own blood. Don't mess around with it. You can heal your body. You don't need matter inside of your body to survive.
Great.
That's
well, let's hear.
There's a free will in this world, and I mean, everybody has a free will, but everybody deserves a free will as well, and should not be pushed into doing anything that makes them feel uncomfortable in that sense. And if you listen to the lyrics, there's a lot in there and it came directly, and it's been something that Javier has been. Cybernetic, the first word of the title, cybernetic porcupine. Cybernetic is the word that Javier has been having since he's been a little boy, and he don't know where that word comes from. But cybernetic is not human. It's not human. You know, it's more humanoid, but it's not human. Okay. And porcupine. So yeah.
Great. Let's hear it.
I can be
Well, there you go. Fantastic. Another great song from your latest album. And with Javier Vargas, you put together a wonderful album. That was just 6 of them. You've got, I think, a total of 8 songs.
11.
Right. 11 songs on that album. And of course, you've got many other songs that you recorded with your other group, with the group that you're usually touring with. And will you be touring soon? Do you have any idea of what's happening with gigs these days in your part of the woods? Are there any gigs at all? It's all on the internet.
Thanks, Peter, very much for playing that song, Cybernetic Porcupine. It means lots to us, especially to me as well. I had an online gig the other day, which is at least something where I can play with the bandmates again, but it's not the same. And I'm trying to see, hopefully now we have the terraces open. In a way, it's going to be how it is, you know, if God wants to. As I said, in a way, from me as a performing singer, I could see it sends everybody with iPhones, a lot of people talking, distracted. They couldn't really, sometimes I couldn't even get them dancing, you know, it's something has to change. I feel the appreciation for music. I mean, music is like a free commodity, which is actually good because it's a free opportunity to heal yourself in a way, but it hasn't, it's lost its value for nothing, you know. And there's a lot of, you know, oh, she could sing better, he could play better, you know, all these, it's lost that kind of, how do you say, heilig? Also, it's actually a holy thing, music, in a way, and it should be celebrated more. It's not just normal that you go into a pub in Oslo and there's a fantastic blues band playing, you know. And ever this happened to me, I'm like, yeah. But a lot of people is like, yeah, okay, it's too loud, turn the music off. It's loud only because the emotions get evoked, and then they have to, you know, what am I going to do with these emotions? All week long I've been suppressing them going to work. If something has to change, and I feel, yeah, live music couldn't continue in that form anymore, I would say. I mean, these gigs, these massive gigs, very commercial, you know, a musician got paid less and less and less, merchandising you can earn, but it's not like a musician gets rich, you know, unless he sells his soul. But it's not like, you know, you can survive on it and have a good life, but you're happy because you love doing it. That's all. And I hope and wish that we humans recognize this. Yeah, it would be great if we would find the stamina and the strength in our hearts and in our souls to together and just say, let's live life and enjoy it. Enjoy this life. You know, what else?
Well,
it's a God.
with that, Jessy, I'm going to be putting at the end of this broadcast links to your various sites and Spotify. Of course, you have your songs available, as well as other links, your website. I'll be putting all that information at the end of this, as well as below on YouTube. So all my media sites will have this broadcast in the next day, and I'll be sending you a link as well, of course. So
Right, then I'll
Jessy, I really appreciate the time that you've taken today to be interviewed and to share your thoughts, your feelings. Spiritual energy for sure has come through loud and clear. So, and I put this crystal, which is rose quartz, a rose quartz. Okay, what is that?
It's a salt stone, and Salzstein comes from Austria.
Wow.
So you got the rose quartz. Yeah, that's a healer.
Wow.
Also, Peter,
You
I
had
drew
to
a
show
card.
off and put that big one up, you know, okay? So this is a
No,
tiny
it's
one.
just-
To send out the vibes, the right energy, healing energy.
Look what I pulled.
Rose
This is the
quartz.
card I pulled. I pulled this card.
That's a toad. Oh,
Yeah, but it says, you know
what
what
does
it
that
says?
mean?
Peter?
What does it
I
mean?
pulled this card in this session. You know what it says? Healing.
Frosh, healing.
Frog, it says healing here. Honestly,
All right.
I'm not kidding you. And you're the celestial healer.
Peter the
go.
healer, your celestial broadcaster.
Isn't that
We send it out
synchronicity?
to the
And
universe.
before I pulled this one, synchronicity. Isn't it funny?
Oh.
It's true, I'm not lying.
I'm not questioning. That's beautiful. Okay, great. All right, Jessy. So
Let's keep healing.
sending out love, energy, soul, music, food, everything out there, and let's all be happy and move forward. And that's
Keep the
it.
music alive. Well, thank you so much, Peter. And thanks so much for inviting me to your show. And God bless you and all the best to you and your loved ones. And let the music do the music talking.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Jessy. And God bless you as well. Bye-bye.
Bye then, Peter. Have a lovely evening. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Lovely- yeah. Ciao.